Hi. So I messed up and missed this recording last night. I'm very sorry for that. Last night was Thursday. It was Maundy Thursday, and I just wanted to look at a couple things. It's a busy day for Jesus. So he may have taken some time on Wednesday to relax, but on Thursday it was busy. It says in Mark chapter 14, I'm going to start in verse 12. It says, "On the first day of unleavened bread, when the Passover lamb was being sacrificed, the disciples said to him, 'Where do you want us to go to prepare for you to eat the Passover?' And he sent two of his disciples and said to them, 'Go into the city, and a man will meet you carrying a pitcher of water. Follow him, and wherever he enters, say to the owner of the house, the teacher says, Where is my guest room, in which I may eat the Passover with my disciples? And he himself will show you a large upper room, furnished and ready to prepare for us.' The disciples went out and came to the city and found it just as he had told them, and they prepared the Passover. When it was evening, he came with the 12. As they were reclining at the table and eating, Jesus said, 'Truly I say to you that one of you will betray me, one who is eating with me.' They began to be grieved and say to him one by one, 'Surely not I.' And he said to them, 'It is the one of the 12, one who dips with me in the bowl. For the Son of Man is to go just as it is written to him of him. But woe to the man by whom the Son of Man is betrayed. It would have been good if that man had not been born.'" So I want to just talk a little bit about what happened with Jesus in this time period. And I don't want to take a lot of time about it, but there is a whole lot to cover. So I'll just say a little. First of all, Jesus is obviously still doing everything that he does on Thursday during the day. He's still in. He starts the day in Bethsage or Bethany, and he is with his disciples. I'm sure he's still teaching. He's still having time with his friends. He's still doing what he does, and then he sends some of the disciples. We're not told which one, so probably not the 12. Some of his disciples to the city to find a place and to set up for the Passover supper. It's interesting because, you see, Jesus is the only one who realizes that he is about to become the Passover lamb for all of humanity. So he goes into the city with his disciples, with his 12 disciples, and he finds the room, and we call that the upper room now today. And he goes there and he begins to teach, and he begins to share a meal with them, and he begins to do different things. One of the things that he does that's very significant is that he washes his disciples' feet. And he does that as a sign of humility and as a sign of servanthood. He's showing them that as their master, he still considers himself to be a servant, and that they are to do the same after he's gone. So there is so much in this. There is a time where they're about to share the meal, and Jesus tells them that one of them is about to betray him. We know that to be Judas Iscariot now, but at that time, imagine yourself in a room where all of that is happening, and you're being challenged to decide if you are that guy. You have to think to yourself, would I be the one to betray my Lord, right? You would think, of course, no, absolutely not. But Jesus has already said somebody is going to be that person. Somebody is going to betray him. And then Peter says, "I'll go all the way with you, Lord. No matter what, I will never deny you." And Jesus says, "Before the cock crows 3 times, you will betray me." All of this plays into who we are, right? We, as followers of Christ, first need to learn to humble ourselves to a point that we don't think of ourselves as better than anybody. Even that most defiled, most ignorant, most in your face sinner. Jesus love them just as much. We are to humble ourselves and accept them and love them and find ways to show them truth. That's what we're called to do. Secondly, maybe we say we'll never deny God, we'll never deny the Christ, but when we're put in a place where we're asked for the truth, do we tell the truth or do we just kind of loosen it up a little bit so that maybe it won't seem quite as bad? You see, that's what happens. We put ourselves in these places where we think we've got it, and yet we still tend to protect ourselves, in which case we would deny that faith that we claim so strongly. So these are things that we have to consider. And maybe you're not the Judas in the room, but maybe you're the Peter. Maybe you're the one who doesn't really want their feet washed because they don't feel worthy. Maybe you're the one who needs to figure it out first before you can ever allow Jesus to have the ability to clean you up and set you free. Here's the good news. On Thursday, Jesus made a decision, and he took his followers and they went to a garden, and while they were there he prayed, and he told the Lord God, his Father, that he would submit to whatever had to happen. And then he went and allowed himself to be tried unjustly for you and me. It's a tough night. It's a tough night, but it's a night that had to happen so that what's set up for Friday would happen. Let's talk about that next.